Hello, Bible Stories from the Heart. I actually have my studio all cleaned up. So what a better time than to go over supplies when I know where everything is. So some of you are actually doing your artwork in your Bibles. So that's great. You have your special Bibles for that. If you do not have a special Bible, it's okay. I actually don't journal directly in my Bible most of the time. I use these big journals, and actually I use several different sizes. These are from, my favorite is from Canson, the mixed media. It's a 7 by 10 inch. I like to be able to do it in here because then I can write notes, I can rip things in and out. I can do more than one verse that might be on a page. For me, it takes a lot of the worry out of, well, what if I don't like it? How do I cover it up? How do I change things? And it just frees me a little bit. For some of you, you might want something different. Some of you might not want to even use something like this. You can always use just a composition book. I talked about this in another video that you can tape and glue and color and stamp and do whatever you want in there. Some of you might want to do it in a binder. And again, that's in the other video on how to make one of those. Another one that I actually started. I'm using, this is a little journal from Moleskine. And actually this is their weekly planner. And I have decided that on one page I'm going to do one piece of artwork a week on this side, and then on this side I'm keeping track of everybody that I'm praying for, and times that I have with God, or things that got to happen. Like one night I got to call and talk with Leslie for 45 whole minutes, which is awesome for us. So that was a huge thing that we got to really talk and pray for Bible Stories from the Heart about that, and then I got to really focus on it after that. So that's another option for journals. As you can see, I have a whole stack of them. So to keep all of my different journals and projects going straight, I have all the ones that I'm currently working in this cart, and then I have other things that I'm working on for Bible Stories from the Heart, or for my own website, and then other jobs that I have in this cart. These are from IKEA. I think it's like 30 bucks. It's super cheap. So, and it's so cute. And I just roll it all over the place with me. So we'll put that under there. So that's paper. Let's talk paints. I use, because I'm a professional watercolor artist, I use more professional style paints. So I've got everything on palettes like this. I buy Winsor and Cotman in these little tiny tubes. These are kind of expensive. So I built up my collection over the years. And what you do is there's like liquid watercolors in here, and I squirt them out onto the palette, let it dry, and then you use them just like you would like a Crayola or some other kind of just pad, like little pad, or what do you call them? You know what I'm talking about, kinds of watercolors. So, and actually this is my travel set that I use. This is Yarka. It's a Russian kind. I really love it because the colors are so vibrant. But again, this is more of a professional set. Crayola is fabulous. When I was teaching high school, and when I'm going to workshops to teach, I take along sets of Crayola. Their colors are fabulous. They're super affordable. I wouldn't mess with any of the other student grade colors. There's some that are good. Pelikan actually puts out a good one. And actually, I shouldn't say that. Artist's Loft that you can get at Michael's is actually a pretty good set as well. The difference between high and low end watercolors is going to be the finish and the amount of pigment that is in there. Watercolors are straight pigment, and they are either just straight up with the water, or sometimes they add some additives in it, and that's what makes it less expensive. So you're going to get more of a chalky finish with the cheaper sets, and they may not last as long because they've added some other things in there. Another kind of paint that brings us to is acrylics. Acrylics are a pigment placed in a plastic binder. So when you let them dry, they're permanent. They're plastic. So that's why, like, if you leave it on your brushes, they will get really hard, and it actually or the chunks of it left behind on a palette. It looks like plastic because it is. So for palettes, I just use paper plates. They're disposable, you know, they're super cheap. I don't worry about it. The other thing I use sometimes is a pie plate, because then I can actually peel off the acrylic sometimes if it gets too thick on there. A great little beginner set. We have the link to this on our website. One of our members actually sells these on Amazon, and it's a great little set, especially for journaling in your Bibles, because it takes such little paint to do that, and this gives you a super big variety to get going. The other things that I use, like I've got my little basket of stuff here that I tote around with me, is I just use basic cheap paint from Walmart, Michaels, wherever you want to get it. This is the Craft Smart. I just buy it in like the sets like this, the value packs, so that I get a variety of colors. Call it good. You can always mix colors and do from there. Also in here, I keep some jars for water, brushes for acrylics. I just get the super value packs that you can get at the craft store. That way, if I don't do a good job washing my brushes, and I leave them, which, you know, happens every once in a while, especially with acrylics, I don't feel bad because they're super easy to replace. So just whatever the brand name is at the store, go ahead and grab those. Doesn't have to be anything crazy expensive or cool. Watercolor brushes, I am a little bit more picky about, again, more because I am more of a professional for that, but I have all sorts of different kinds of them. The main thing is that you have some different shapes and sizes. You want like a pointed one, and this is for acrylic or watercolor. You want a pointed one to do little detail work. You want a fatter round one to do big areas. You want a couple of different sizes of flat to do lettering and to fill in different areas. The biggest thing about brushes, they make it seem crazy difficult or hard to figure out. Really, it's not. All you're doing is matching the size of the brush and the shape of the brush to the thing that you are drawing or painting. So for example, if you're going to be doing a great big area, you don't want to use the little tiny pointed brush or even the tiniest flat brush that you have. You're going to want to use something big. And really, for a big background, flat or round doesn't matter. Depends on where the shapes you're doing. When I went in to fill in the hair and the face, that's when I used a smaller brush. That's all you have to remember. Just match the size and the shape to what you are actually painting. That's all you have to do. All right, so you can kind of see some organization things. This basket I got at Goodwill. Gotta love the thrift store, right? So it's just one of those caddies that you would use for silverware. I have brushes in one section, pencils in another, and then some scissors and a ruler in the other one. And then when I'm doing collage, I've ripped up some pages of old books, and those are stuck back there. I also like to use just old, like my coffee cups, favorite ones that I've been given. And I keep Sharpies and pens and different things like that in there. I got my rock. Always got to have some rocks around. I love my rocks. This super cool dude, I picked up through Harbor Freight. And you can get them in the stores and also online. I think it was like 20 bucks. And you have to put it together, which takes a little work, but it's so worth it. Because look at all these little caddies. They're so much fun. So in here, I've got some different like sparkly watercolors. I only have 4 gelatos. I haven't bought a whole lot of these. They're kind of fun though. I have those in there, my glues and tapes, some glitter glue and some ink, different white pens, different black pens, Post-it notes, a couple of little punches, little scissors and X-Acto knives, tea, because you never know when you're going to need some chamomile tea, my pencil sharpeners and erasers. Ooh, erasers. This is the Magic Eraser from Prismacolor. It is worth it. Do not use Pink Pearl or cheap erasers. They will rip your paper. They will leave behind smudges. A good white eraser is worth it. I refuse to use any other kind of eraser. This is, spend your money on these bad boys. All right, what else is up in there? Just random junk. So, but that's kind of a fun little thing. On my desk, I have this little guy that I got from the dollar bin somewhere that holds my Kleenexes, some, what are these called? Paper towels that I can use to dab up extra water if I get too much on a painting, or if I need to clean my surface, which you saw the other day needs to happen more often than it does. What else have we got over here? I have Prismacolors. These are the golden colored pencils. And I splurged, I saved and saved and saved last year and splurged on a big set. They're just so buttery and their colors are fabulous. But again, Crayola Twistables on the low end of things is a super brand, and you don't have to sharpen them. They always have a nice soft tip to them. You don't want a sharp tip. You want a nice soft tip so that it won't rip the paper again, and so that they will blend together better. So Prismacolors or Crayolas are excellent. What else do I have over here? I think that's about everything. That's about all you need, really. I do have some stamps and ink that I use every once in a while. I do use a little bit of gesso sometimes. I do have my thing of washi tape that I get out every once in a while. I use this more for other projects. Yeah. Really? It doesn't have to take a lot. That's the thing I also want to get across to you, is that even if you only have a Ziploc baggie of some crayons, some glue, some pencils, this little bag of happiness is all you need. The important part about this art, about any kind of faith art, is the time you are spending with God. It's not about having the perfect supplies. It's not about having a stash that you may never use. It's about spending time going deep into the Word, about imprinting it on your own heart, and then letting that imprint shine through you to other people. So I hope this helped a little bit with some supply things. I'm excited to see what you all make. So I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.